We begin tonight with that growing camera controversy in Milford. The license plate readers have been used for decades on city streets to tackle crime, but residents say this surveillance technology has been taken too far. Amanda Callahan is your reporter in Milford with more on the heated debate. Amanda.
Well, Aaron, flock cameras like the one right here on this busy road here in Milford weren't even on the meeting agenda tonight, but certainly took center stage. Now, most of the residents we heard from tonight expressed their strong disapproval of these cameras around the city. Sitting room only in Milford City Hall. Hundreds packed in to speak before the Board of Aldermen, the mayor, and the police chief, urging the city to stop its use of automated license plate readers or flock cameras.
Take the cameras down.
The license plate readers themselves have existed around the city for over 25 years, but last year Milford upgraded them to include flock safety. The more than 24 cameras are positioned around the city, documenting your license plate and the make and model of your car. Many residents say these cameras are an invasion of their privacy.
I live directly across the street from one of these cameras, and every day I'm reminded that at my home, my neighborhood, my visitors, everyone who passes by are being continuously monitored.
You have no right to follow us, to document every single move we make in this town, nor anywhere in this country.
Data collected by the cameras is only stored for 21 days if it doesn't match any ongoing investigations, with a focus on finding stolen vehicles, missing people, and criminal suspects. Federal agencies don't have access. In a letter to the community, Milford Police Chief Keith Mello says these cameras have been indispensable to police investigations. Last week, a man was arrested in connection with the double shooting that killed an elderly Milford man, and the police credit those flock cameras for helping them track down the suspect. But residents still want to see them taken down.
We already have the tools to work within the Constitution. Investigation, witnesses, tips, traditional detective work, and warrants where there is reasonable suspicion. Those tools caught criminals long before these cameras existed.
Last month, a few of the flock cameras were vandalized in the city. Officers are still working to track down who's responsible. These cameras are different than speed cameras used to issue citations to drivers going too fast. But those are also utilized around Milford and came into play in tonight's lengthy public comment.
If the goal is to slow traffic, we already know what works. We have traffic calming measures such as speed bumps, speed tables, road narrowing.
Now, this was just a discussion among residents. The Board of Aldermen did not take any action tonight, but we have seen some communities, including Windsor and Killingworth, put a stop to their flock camera use. Reporter live in Milford, Amanda Callahan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.